Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, I am so ashy right now. Call me the ashy man, all right? I'm used to it. But yeah, we're gonna get straight into this. Like I said, we're gonna start mixing it up, all right? Look, this is about NASA. When I think about the water, though, and when I say NASA, yes, the space NASA, but only this one is not about space. This is about water. I was actually I was actually shocked when I seen that I seen a video on YouTube and it was literally mentioned that NASA did try to go discover something underwater, but abandoned the mission. I heard, but yeah, but when I think about the water, I think about marine spirits. All right, that's all I can say. But yeah, we're gonna jump straight into this, and I hope everyone is having an amazing day, afternoon, or night. It depends where you are. Okay. But yeah, let's do this. Ooh, what's NASA trying to find at the bottom of the ocean? Well, didn't they abandon the mission? I heard they stopped, but hey, let's get into it. Let's see what's up.
Do you know the many surprising connections between the deepest parts of space and the deepest recesses of our ocean? Both are cold, dark places where humans cannot breathe and where the pressure alone is enough to kill you. Both upset our
Yeah, sound like somewhere we do not belong. We belong on Earth where we can breathe,
normal
bro.
experiences of gravity, providing explorers with a strange weightlessness or buoyancy if they could somehow survive being there in the first place. And both contain many unsolved, captivating mysteries. Our ocean
Like I said, the only thing I know about the ocean, like so far as the like in the spiritual realm, there is a lot of spirits in the ocean. Yes, marine spirits. That's what they called.
our oceans are filled with life we've never seen before. And who can say what lurks in the unexplored corners of space? I was initially caught off guard when I heard that NASA had turned its attention towards exploring the Hadal zones deep in the ocean. After all, NASA is normally about space.
Yeah,
What are they doing deep under the water
I was
and
actually
on
shocked.
Earth? I'm Alex McColgan, and you're watching Astrum. Put on your diving gear and join me in a world of undersea facilities, uncanny life, and an environment
Weird
so
looking
hostile
fish.
we've mapped more of Mars than of this terrain on our own planet.
Let's go,
In
NASA.
1957,
What
the
y'all
year
doing under
before
the
NASA was
water?
founded, a paper published by the Journal of the Royal Society of Arts claimed the deep oceans covered over 2/3 of the surface of the world, and yet more is known about the shape and surface of the moon than is known about that of the bottom of the ocean. This was a reference to the fact that in the world before echo sounding technology was commonly used to map the seafloor, we didn't know much about the topography of what was down there. We've come a long way since then, but while we have mapped the moon thanks to satellites and telescopes, we have still only mapped 23.4% of the ocean floor in high resolution.
Crazy.
In fairness, this still represents an area of 120 million square kilometers, about 3 times the moon's surface area, so the old saying no longer holds entirely true. Hence why we can instead talk of Mars, which has a surface area of 145 million square kilometers. But still, it's a profound gap in our knowledge of our own world. NASA was founded in 1958 with the purpose of expanding human knowledge of phenomena in the atmosphere and in outer space, and developing vehicles and technologies that would help them to do so. Exploring the ocean was not originally on their radar, or sonar. However, in 1978, NASA began monitoring the ocean with their first dedicated oceanographic satellite,
Oh,
CSAT,
so it's not
which was
recent.
capable of collecting data on sea surface winds, surface temperatures, wave heights, and other features. This helped them learn more about our planet's oceans and their impact on the global climate. Still, some of NASA's most exciting forays into the ocean only began at the turn of the millennium. One way in which the sea can prepare astronauts for space is through simulated space experiences. About 8.7 kilometers off Key Largo in Florida is the world's only undersea research laboratory, Aquarius Reef Base.
Whoa.
Built in 1986, it is a small, 3-roomed habitat large enough to house 6 people at a
I
push,
can tell on
with
the
a main room that
outside that it's
combines
old.
sleeping and living quarters, an entry dock, and a ware porch for entering the sea around it. It was originally designed to help aquanauts remain at the bottom of the sea for weeks at a time through a technique known as saturation diving.
That's
By
how
remaining
you.
at the depth of 19 meters, the human body becomes saturated with gas dissolved in its bloodstream, which allows these researchers to stay at depth without ill effects for much longer periods of time, 9 hours for one dive, rather than 1 or 2 hours. This made it ideal for biologists wanting to study the local environment in situ. In 2001, however, NASA, along with other space agencies such as ESA,
So
realized
much
that
we
it
don't
made
know
a
about
great space training
water,
location.
like
The
the
cramped
ocean, I
living
mean.
conditions mimic those found on the International Space Station, so astronauts who spent a week at Aquarius Reef Base would get a vital taster of what life would be like up there. It also allowed them to practice performing experiments and generally get used to the expected and unexpected aspects of life in a hostile environment. NASA began the NEMO program, or the NASA Extreme Environment Mission Operations, and that same year began sending their astronauts to the habitat. There have been 23 NEMO missions since then, merging astronaut crews from a variety of different space agencies, which lasted up to 3 weeks. Astronauts there became aquanauts and got the chance to don deep spacesuits, getting a taste for what spacewalks might be like outside of our planet, readying them for the day humans return to the moon or go to Mars. This was not the only use NASA had for the ocean, however. Perhaps the most significant training was not for NASA's astronauts, but rather for the machines that would one day visit the
I'll
largest
be asking myself that. If we went to the moon decades ago, why can't we go now? What are we waiting for? If we're planning on going again, like what's the hold up? Like, come on, bro. Like,
oceans outside of planet Earth. Let's now go deeper and consider the exploration of alien oceans. Our solar system is home to many large oceans outside of Earth. Jupiter's moon Europa and Saturn's moon Enceladus, to name just two, have significant bodies of water beneath their kilometer-thick icy surfaces.
really?
In spite of only being 1/4 of the Earth's diameter, scientists believe that Europa holds twice as much water as all of our oceans combined.
What?
This is an intriguing concept, as even though no sunlight penetrates down to those depths, the mixture of liquid water bordering a rocky inner crust would make both of these locations ideal candidates for life. Scientists have considered how to best test to see if life really has arisen in the oceans of icy moons. In 2024, NASA will launch the Europa Clipper, with the mission to fly by the moon Europa and scan it to learn more about the depth of its icy shell, to try to determine the composition of its oceans, and generally get a better picture of the moon as a whole.
Interesting.
However, Europa Clipper will only be laying the groundwork for future missions, which one day might see cryobots melting through the 10-kilometer thick icy shell of Europa using nuclear-powered radiators to penetrate its oceans and see firsthand what lies below. Once down there, no radio signal will be able to reach them easily. Messages will be relayed via a vast cable brought down through the ice along with the cryobot. This means that such cryobots will need to be able to autonomously descend a further 100 to 200 kilometers to explore the dark, chilling, and highly pressurized environment they're likely to find. to see what alien life might swim in those waters.
Man, get into the
So,
good stuff.
with a mission objective on the horizon to explore deep, dark waters in search of never-before-seen life, what better place to start than the unexplored oceans we already have at home? The deepest parts of the oceans on Earth are only 11 kilometers deep, but
Wait, I want to check this video out. Not all of it though. They lied to us. Who lied to us? All right, let's check this out.
And I took a big breath and I went down and I opened my eyes in my mask in the darkness with my flashlight, and I saw right in front of me this huge eyeball, like the size of a saucer.
The hunt for life on other worlds has taken the world's scientific community to studying the far reaches of our galaxy. But new discoveries may have these scientists focusing a little closer to home.
Look at the mouth on that thing. Good Lord.
Recently, Joe Rogan had an interview with Garrett Reisman, a NASA astronaut and one of the only people to both spend time in space as an astronaut aboard the ISS and spend time on the bottom of the ocean. He spent time on the Nemo 5 mission, which put him and several other crew members on the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Agency's underwater habitat known
Nice. This is from the source itself. Okay, I like that. I hope you guys can hear.
as Aquarius. This submarine is anchored to the sea floor and allows Reisman and other NASA astronauts to train and understand what their time will be like aboard the International Space Station. One of the hardest elements of life aboard the ISS is dealing with the size of your living space. Aquarius gives each guest about as much room as they would have aboard the spacecraft, which helps train the astronauts' physiologic response to being stuck in such cramped quarters. Reisman recalled that the view from the ISS was quite a bit better, which may have helped with his time there. But explorers dealing with living space is not the only similarity between the deep ocean and space beyond the atmosphere.
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where
the world's oceans are some of the least explored areas on the entire planet. And as such, NASA's had their eye on the deepest underwater zones as ways to test the next generation of space exploration vehicles against the toughest conditions Earth has to offer that may even exceed what they'll experience on other worlds. Complete darkness, bone-crushing pressure, and otherworldly creatures. The deepest regions of Earth's oceans appear like another world, completely alien to what we can see on the surface of our planet. Down 1,000 meters.
All God's creation. Ain't God is amazing. So amazing.
Once you cross into the aphotic zone, sunlight can no longer break through the water column. They have teamed up with a number of oceanic organizations, like the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute, which helped them crash land a device at the bottom of the Hadal Zone, named for the Lord of the Underworld from Greek mythology, more than 10,000 meters below the surface. And now engineers at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory are working on a new autonomous vehicle to explore the deepest regions of the oceans, called Orpheus, named after the Greek hero who traveled to the underworld and back. Designed to withstand the insane pressures of the Hadal Zone, this submersible vehicle will be dealing with upwards of 600 to over 1,000 times the atmospheric pressure on the surface. Orpheus will be used to generate a three-dimensional map of the ocean's floor, identify what it finds in the depths, and catalog the biodiversity it discovers.
Interesting.
And in a world devoid of light, the creatures found here have evolved with some unique adaptations that allow them to survive in an environment that would absolutely destroy most creatures on Earth. Down to the cellular level, these animals have evolved specially designed cellular structures to stop the intense pressure from crushing them. Life can be found in even the most extreme conditions found here, around the volcanic vents releasing superheated magma and gases. The organisms found here that survive off of the nutrients spewing into the ocean gave scientists an interesting idea. The life down here may give them clues as to what they should look for on other planets. NASA, in particular, has picked up this idea and are working it into their interests with a particular moon within the solar system, Europa. Europa, one of Jupiter's largest moons, has caught the eye of many researchers looking for regions in the cosmos that may be able to harbor life. The ice sheet that covers the surface of Europa is believed to be between 15 and 25 kilometers thick, floating on top of an immense ocean. These oceans are far bigger than any of the ones on Earth and may contain more than 2 times the amount of water, and are also between 60 to 150 kilometers deep, at least double the depth of most of Earth's oceans.
Wow.
But like the deepest depths of our oceans, the ice sheet covering the water on Europa is so thick that it cuts off all forms of light from penetrating through and creates an enormous amount of pressure, similar to what we find in the Hadal Zone. Astronomers have long believed that life may be hiding somewhere in these massive oceans, surviving off the minerals present and the possible hydrothermal vents many believe are scattered across Europa's seafloor. The process of getting to the moon over 608 million kilometers away with the proper equipment will be the challenge. But NASA believes that if their Orpheus vehicle can withstand the crushing pressures and conditions of the Hadal Zone, building a vehicle to dive deep into Europa's oceans and search for life will be no problem. A new discovery, however, may make their whole mission on the surface of Europa a bit easier. Scientists studying the icy moon of Europa have made a startling discovery. Evidence of shallow pools that may be sitting just below the ice, as close as 1 mile from the moon's surface. If researchers can confirm this, it would not only make the process of planning missions to test the waters, but would also give a boost to the chances that alien life exists on Europa, as these pools may be close enough to the surface.
No. They're just theories.
To get some kind of light filtering through. A team led by a PhD student at Stanford University studied the surface morphology and habitability of Europa while looking closely at the double ridges that cover the surface and uncovered something intriguing. These ridges are very similar to ice ridges that can be found in Greenland, and these ridges on Earth are formed because of shallow pools of water under Greenland's ice. The team believes that ridge structures found all over the moon are the result of a water cycle in which water beneath the surface of the ice melts and refreezes due to the high-pressure environment
Interesting.
within the sheet. Water sitting just a mile under the surface would also be protected from the harsh radiation that's emitted by Jupiter, giving alien life a better chance at getting a start. NASA's current plan is to launch their Europa Clipper mission in the next few years, with the goal of reaching the moon by the year 2030 and performing several flybys to get accurate readings of the habitability of the moon, and look for areas of intrigue for many more dedicated trips to this moon. But NASA isn't just using the ocean floor to prepare for trips far into the solar system. NASA's time in the ocean will also help them with a mission much closer to our home planet. One new project being launched is called the Volatile Investigating Polar Exploration Rover, or VIPER, which will be traveling to the moon's south pole to take a look at the water ice that's been found there. Viper will drill down into the ice to uncover how much ice is really there and if it may be possible to utilize any of the water for rocket fuel, drinking water, or any other application. The mission will allow NASA to test their equipment and prepare for longer missions to planets much further away to do much of the same. Could the future of humanity rely on what we find off of our world? Thanks for
No. The future of humanity rely on God, Jesus Christ, okay? That's when scientists go too far. Well, I don't want to say too far because as humans, we can do experiments, but still going too far is just taking God out of the equations, okay? But yeah, no. Jesus will come back. Yes. I will always let that be known. No. What? Come on, bro. Future of humanity rely on what we find. No. We should rely on God, okay? All hope and belief should go to God. Worship. But yeah, there is a God. Our future and faith already sealed. Our faith is already sealed. And that's with God, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Come on. He came and died for us. We owe him that. Come on, bro. We owe him that respect. Come on. Even if you don't want to follow him or worship him, at least give him that respect. Come on. But yeah, that was it for this video. But yeah, that's all. Hey, whatever y'all do, man. Nobody's stopping y'all from going deep down in the ocean. Do what y'all do. But still, I never knew NASA go search on the water. I just thought it was all about space. But good to know though. It's good to experiment, you know? We have authority over everything on this planet. God give us authority, you know. So hey, I think it's cool, you know. But yeah, you guys should know about marine spirits. And if y'all do want to know about those, I can go check out the channel. It's on YouTube. Life is Spiritual by Tim and Erica. Yeah, she been through it, real deal. Go check them out. Life is Spiritual. Tim and Erica. Yeah, I know what's up, but yeah. That was it for this reaction. Like I said, I'm gonna start mixing it up a little bit here and there, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to stay notified every time I drop and upload a video. Like the video so it can spread around. Share it with your family, friends, and enemies, okay? But yeah, good to see you guys. Good to be here with me. I'm happy to be here with y'all. Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna catch you on the next video. I'm out.